Phallic joke? No,
As
we
many
may not.
as possible.
Please.
No comments.
How much time?
Oh, are we jumping straight in? So tell us about how you're taking the direction for this film to make it different and also still keep it to the fans of the original as well.
I think what really defines Jennifer and I as directors is we are the total fangirl directors. I mean, we started watching WWE when Glenn was introduced as Kane. So when
It was a rough day because she was an HBK fan and I was an Undertaker fan. We did not talk for a week.
don't tell Glenn, but Jen hated him when he was introduced because he was the reason why HBK won that match. And
He tombstone the Undertaker. You don't do that. It's
Yeah,
okay.
you
We've
do.
made peace.
yeah, you
Wherever
do.
he is.
But we loved the first film, but we're such nerds and we watch so many horror movies. Like, we watch every single thing that comes out. We were like, there's some missed opportunities here. We want to make it special. We want to make it different. And I don't know how many of you guys saw American Mary, but we really like making... Oh, thank you.
I loved it. I'm hoping that will be why you'll be able to, like, there were so many missed opportunities and things that they didn't go for.
I know. Plus, he's 7 foot and they're doing high angle shots. I'm like, put the camera low. He's the biggest
I will
thing
tell you,
ever.
he is scary as all hell. And you know, another thing that was really important for us was to separate Glenn Jacobs from Kane and Jacob Goodnight. There's a lot of wanting to meld Kane with Jacob Goodnight, and they're two very, very different characters. And you're really going to see that in this, and you're going to know what makes Jacob Goodnight tick in this as well. And Glenn not only is an amazing physical performer, but as an actor, phenomenal.
So you had
He is
no
so
difficulties coming back into the character after doing comedy for like the last
He's
4 years.
He's so good, and it's because I'm a wrestling fan. I was so used to him being Kane.
Yeah.
And then because of American Mary with Katie, I would be talking to her constantly about the character, and I'd go to Glenn and I'd talk to him for like 20 minutes about it, and I'm like, okay, and then we'll rework it. He does it in one take, and you're like, okay, I guess me being here is useless. Oh, there's your mark. Good job, Glenn.
Yeah, he goes full on in the first take. Amazing.
So, what would you say is a unique feature in working with these guys who do their performances are night after night, week after week, versus traditional actors? Not to say better or worse, but what do you think that they bring unique in getting to work with them? Aside from, of course, the one take, which is, when they're performing live, they don't have a choice.
Yeah, absolutely.
What else do you think that they bring that's unique against, a traditional actor?
It's like they're theatrically trained almost, because they are doing a huge theatrical pantomime production every day, and I find it really insulting when people assume that wrestlers aren't actors as well. I mean, they're very talented athletes, but they're also performers that don't get other takes, they don't get to change it, and usually they have people swearing at them inches from their face, they're cheering them. It's a very emotionally difficult way to perform.
I think one thing about Glenn is we forgot, like, we knew he was strong. We didn't know how strong he was. Like, when he did, and he's so sweet and so polite. I don't know if you've talked to him yet. He's the nicest thing ever. And then when he turns it on, like, when he destroyed things, we were all in our little video village like, oh my god, he could kill us all if he wanted to.
If he just snapped, that would be it for all of
There
us.
was this one weapon that took 3 guys to bring over, and we had a plastic version that he was supposed to use. And then we saw him using the metal one, and we were like, he just
How can you swing
lifted
that?
Me and a stunt coordinator, Kamani Smith, we were just standing there like, he could, if he snaps, we're dead. All of us, like 100 of us, dead in an instant. So he brings the ability to kill.
Okay.
It's very important.
It could have
In
been
one take. He kills in one take.
It could have been a
one
snuff
take.
film instead of just a horror
It
film.
absolutely could. Although I did ask him to kill people a couple times. I mean, I gotta have fun too.
Of course.
Let me ask something a little off. What's your favorite film?
American Psycho.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nice. Same?
Same.
Yeah.
I love Mary Herring. She was the reason we got into horror directing. I didn't even know what American Psycho was, but there's a press conference in Toronto because they said it was promoting violence against women, and there was this woman there, and she was talking so eloquently. It was like, what is this movie that everyone's freaking out about? And it's like, she's so articulate, even though they're being so stupid. And then I watched the movie, and I was like, oh my god, favorite thing ever. Plus Christian Bale with his acting in the shower, that was really favorite thing for me. That was really
That was a hard performance.
That was a special moment for me.
It's nice to see a male that was objectified, but absolutely owning his sexuality, where if you put a female in that role, everyone would say, oh, she's a slut, she's a whore. Nobody would say that about Christian Bale.
Well, it was hugely inspired American Mary, too,
Yep.
because she's very into the aesthetic of everything that she does.
So do you think if that was a female killing males, nobody would have been complaining as violence
No, it's
against
true, and it's
males?
the weirdest
Yeah.
thing ever. Like, I watched things, and we get away with murder, because they're like, oh, they're chicks. Oh, it's okay. And I'm like, I know some male directors that do the same thing, and they're like, that's so sexist. I'm like, why? They're just killing the
Well,
chicks.
they actually kind of did make an American Psycho too.
Oh no,
No, they
we
did
don't
not.
mention that. That never happened. Even Mila Kunis says that didn't happen.
Oh, even Mila says it didn't happen. Okay.
Who's your favorite WWE diva right now?
Oh,
I
I don't
like
know.
AJ. I like AJ because she's a crazy nerd. I'm
She's
like,
risky.
I feel we could hang, but
Yeah.
obviously the twins,
The twins, the Bella twins.
I kind of want to fight them. Glenn has taught me how to wrestle, so
Watch the hell out. Bella.
I think
I would have thought you'd be Paige fans.
I would
imagine?
love that. I think one of them faked an injury because they heard
They
that
heard
we were gonna
about
throw
us.
down.
So we're gonna see you in the tag team match.
I want to do
I would
that.
absolutely
You want to know
love
what
that.
our finisher move is?
What?
We
Please.
told us.
Oh, we gotta see it.
Kate, save us!
It's really good.
It's really
It's
solid when he comes out.
We also like
Wait.
Natalia because she's a beautiful Canadian.
Yeah.
I like Natalia also.
Yeah, she's badass. We when we were at SummerSlam, they let us go down for the Divas match, and then they forgot about us, and we got to watch the CM Punk match.
The Beast was, oh my god, Punk should be dead after that. I was just sitting there like, get up, Punk! And then Brock walked over and I stopped cheering. I was like, do what you will with him. It's
We were right
fine.
behind Lawler, and we were cheering pretty hard and talking a lot of smack. And then as soon as that huge man walked over, we just
Do what you must to him, sir. It's okay.
get him, Punk.
Sorry, Punk.
Get him.
They gave us the one more question finger wag. That's why it got quiet all of a
now
sudden.
it's
We don't want you to
quiet.
think we don't have questions.
Well, we have questions, but then you'll go off and then you'll not be able to finish the answer.
We're gonna have to wrap it up and
See?
Yeah.
Oh, guys,
Thank you.
so
That's
much.
the guy who hired us. Okay. Oh my god.
Bye. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Send Marty my love.
Oh my God, please do. Yes.
I'm good. How are y'all?
I'm doing great.
Good,
By the
good,
way,
good. Good.
I just want to say, great career, man. Thank you for
thank
sticking with WWF and putting in the work.
Thanks. I appreciate it.
So I was wondering that you've been doing, you've been having to do comedy for like the last, 3-4 years. Was it difficult for you just to leap right back into something so dark and who's actually almost deeper and darker than Kane you've ever
Kane's
been?
a lot deeper and darker than Kane is. Not really.
No,
no.
Just it's there in the back of your mind to become that guy.
Yeah. I mean, it's that's what acting's all about, right?
Well, yeah.
Being able to do different things, and the stuff that I've been doing with Daniel Bryan, I actually had a lot of fun. I probably had the most fun in my career doing that. So I'd like to do more of that.
Well, you're in a basement right now, somewhere on a farm. So.
Yeah. So who knows, right? Yeah.
So are you going to go a lot darker or grungier this time around? I mean, it was dark and grungy last time. So.
I don't know. I mean, a lot of it's up to what the Soska twins do
In editing.
with the shooting, with the editing of it. I think it's going to probably be a lot more artsy than the first movie was, and I think that's actually going to be cool. I think people are going to be blown away by the visual appearance of the movie. We have of course the some hardcore horror stuff in there as well, but it's a bit of a mixture, between like a horror movie. There's some levity and a little bit of some comedy in it. So I think people are going to be surprised by that.
What's your favorite horror movie?
My favorite horror movie is actually probably not a horror movie, but it's Silence of the Lambs is probably my favorite movie. And then the first Halloween I thought was really good. The first A Nightmare on Elm Street was also really good. So yeah.
Respect? No.
who was the person to give you the call that you was going to put the mask back on? And what are your thoughts of the Wyatt family?
Well, I'd taken a little time off, and it's actually just the creative team, and then myself as well. I was the one that wanted to do the mask again. The Wyatts are in trouble when I get back. There's no doubt about that. But no, I think that Bray Wyatt, he reminds me of the young me, actually. Because I think it's a great character, despite the fact of what happened with me personally. And I think he has a great future ahead of him if he can get through me when I come back.
I mean, how do you stay physically fit?
Yeah.
Mountain of muscle. I mean, you got to give us a little bit of your workout regimen. So.
Yeah, you're in your best shape.
Thanks, man. I just try to get in the gym, like, 5-6 days a week. I do a lot more cardio than I did when I was younger.
Yeah.
I still try to lift relatively heavy, although not nearly as heavy as I did in my younger days, because I'd probably blow something out at this point in my life. But that's the key for me, is just trying to be consistent, just trying to still get in there and do it, and make my time in the gym productive. And I still watch what I eat and still try to take care of myself as best I can.
So body-wise, you feel like you can still go for a couple more years?
Oh yeah, I feel good. I don't feel too good today because we just wrapped up shooting Saturday morning and flew here.
So do you find
did
you find shooting the film is actually more aggressive for you than actually the 270?
No, I love what I do in the ring. Right. The downside of WWE is the travel.
It's the travel that kills you.
The ring stuff. The ring stuff is fun. It's physically
you.
exerting and everything. But I actually find that just traveling and getting there. That's. Don't ever tell them this, but that's, I think, what I get paid for. It's being in the ring that's the fun part. You hear actors say the same thing.
Right. It's the being on the road. It's the life on the road. You're away from your wife.
I was on set with someone, I forget who it was, and they were talking about. It was some like huge name guy like Brad Pitt or Johnny Depp, and he was talking about how he doesn't get paid for the acting, he gets paid for the waiting around all day to do the acting, right? It's the same in our situation. That the fun part is going out in front
the ring
of
and actually working in front of them.
But the hard part is the getting there and traveling. That's the drag.
Sitting backstage waiting for your cue to be like, oh, now I get to go.
Yeah, and it's the same with the acting part. You get out in front of the camera and the red light comes on, and that's fun and that's great. And then
you gotta wait
an hour. Okay, we got to
set.
reset and switch lighting and stuff. You're like, oh, okay, I'll be back.
One of the coolest moments I remember is something Undertaker said. He said one of the toughest matches that you guys ever did, and he said he would never do it again, was the Inferno match.
Yeah.
I just want to
kind of hear your side of it.
Yeah.
Like the whole ring on fire constant. I mean, was that really the craziest, or is it still the craziest?
Yeah, because you can get seriously hurt.
You can.
I actually did get a
protective.
burn.
It's not as protective as it looks. It's
Yeah, I actually did get a burn. It wasn't bad in that match, but those are hard, and they're so different, and they're just so different than what we normally do that they're very hard to do.
You can't use the ropes, basically.
Right. Yeah, and the potential for getting seriously hurt is there in that match. So you have to be really, really, really careful. So it's stressful.
One thing I haven't seen you done yet was build a stable. If you were build a stable, who would be in it?
If I ever built a stable, I'm not sure.
Call Sean.
Yeah, I get the old school guys back, right? I don't know, man. That's something I'd have to think about.
As far as the second movie goes, how do you approach the character differently? Obviously, you want to do something a little new and you want to make it a little bigger. How do you approach the character differently the second time?
We tried to bring, first of all, the physical look is a little different, which I can't talk about because I've been sworn to secrecy.
Looks more like the name, maybe a little more. The name to the looks fit.
Well, I can't go into it. But also, we tried to bring some more personality, some more character to him, a little more depth to the character. For something of this genre anyway, and hopefully all that plays through. The reason that Jacob is the reason he is because his mom messed him up. Right. So you have a little bit of the psycho Anthony Perkins thing going on. So we play on that, and I think also we use his physical size probably more effectively this time than we did in the first movie.
I want to ask you this. I know if you can't answer, I understand. It might be a little controversial. Well, what do you think about the possibility of Sting coming to WWE?
I don't know.
Would you? I figured that'd be great.
Yeah, sure, it'd be great because he's had such a great career. Why not come and and be with us, and sort of
End it there.
yeah, but I don't know if he's going to do that or not. I've never actually met him, or I met him one time, but I've never, I don't know him that well.
If he did, would you like to be in the match?
Oh, sure, yeah, sure, of course.
How would you stock yourself up to your fellow horror stars of your size and ability? Kane, the other Kane, not you Kane, but
right.
Kane and the
how
new
would I compare myself?
Yeah.
I don't know.
You can't.
No,
can't stack
really.
yourself up against them.
I don't know. I mean, they're.
Would you want to be in a film where you get to fight them?
That would be sort of neat, right? They did the Freddy versus Jason deal, right? Or if they had a battle royal.
They have in Hatchet 3. They actually had the Jasons fight.
Yeah.
The two Jasons got to finally fight each other.
Yeah.
So.
And I think that stuff is sort of neat, the fantasy. One of the other, we were talking at one of the round tables about, Marvel used to do something like that. And this was like back in, probably the 70s, where all the superheroes were transported to an alternative dimension, and they had death matches, right? And something like that might be sort of cool. Yeah, and then it's the thing that's neat about horror is you can take away all the boundaries, right? As long as you create whatever world you create and stay within the context of that world, you can pretty much do anything. So it's an offshoot of fantasy in that respect, right? Something like that would be really cool.
What do you feel should break the Undertaker's streak?
I don't think it's going to get broken. It'd be me, but I don't know if it's ever going to be broken.
For third time?
Yeah. I don't think it's ever going to be broken, man. He's pretty good at WrestleMania.
You saw Sheamus walk in. I was telling him we were interviewing. He says he's going to be waiting.
He's waiting for me?
Yeah.
All right. We'll see. I'm waiting for him, too. Yeah.
He's whiter than you, though. So
yeah, he is. You can actually see the food digestion. Sorry.
It's okay, man. O'Shaughnessy's that kind of guy. He deserves the jokes.
Yeah.
One quick question.
Yeah, man.
Who were your big man inspirations in getting into wrestling all those years ago?
Undertaker was one, actually. What's awesome about him is not only his size, but his athletic ability. And he was probably the first guy that combined that size guy with that athleticism, maybe the only guy. And then, of course, Andre. Andre's the ultimate. I think nowadays, speaking of Andre, I think Big Show is phenomenal. The fact that he's as big as he is and he is the athlete that he is just amazing. But back in the day, it was Andre, Taker.
Mark
Hulk Hogan was one of my favorites too. So those guys.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, thanks, guys.
Thank you.
You guys have a good day. Enjoy yourselves. Enjoy your.
We have got to stop eating like this. How tall are you, Miko?
$7
It's a death trap.
I think you just bought me dinner first.